More than 15,000 Wisconsinites signed a petition calling on Republican state lawmakers to protect access to contraception. And today, Democrats and other advocates gathered at the Capitol to request the Right to Contraception Act be scheduled for a vote before this year's legislative session wraps up for the spring. Senator Dianne Hasselbein and Representative Lisa Suback introduced the Assembly bill. Suback says it's especially important since the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Those decisions are not protecting us. And in fact, in the Dobbs decision, we heard outright from Judge Clarence Thomas about all of the other cases that should be given another look. Access to birth control is one of those.
15 News spoke with someone from Assembly Speaker Robin Voss's office within the last 15 minutes. We are still waiting on an official response.